to rain fairly heavily out here at Ascot. The red light goes on. Drummond Gulf Maidenfield stands. The favourite drawn toward the outside. Set, racing. Didn't really step with them though. Pandora Girl, Platinum Class the first away as Military Power now starts to drive forward. It's gathering speed. It's coming across, pushing up the stablemate Shoot to Frill with Scenery. In behind them outfield, Weaponised, steadies between horses in a very compacted field. And out there, our clear last settling down is After Party. Well, he did cross them, JJ Brown on Military Power. And at the 600 mark, Military Power settles down a length clear from Scenery, going up around the outside now from Shoot to Frill. Over on the inside is Outfield in fourth placing. Pandora Girl got trapped out there 3 deep around Platinum Class. Weaponised losing its spot and tacking on After Party. They approach the home turn and Military Power straightened up, railed well for Brown, kicked away from the Military Power. Quickly established a break of 3 on Outfield. They beat off Scenery. After Party's coming right down the outside though from last. After Party out after Military Power, who's off its feet. After Party hits the front and After Party's going to pull away and score. It's an upset win, but it's a double for the Pontiff in the first 2 on Anzac Day. After Party has won from Military Power, Platinum Class, Outfield in a group. From Pandora Girl, Weaponised, Shoot to Frill drop right out, and the last of them home is Scenery. Well, this has got home at big odds. After Party first up from last, a clear last it was in the early stages as well. Paul Harvey though, right on song in the first 2 races. A double here for the Pontiff. And this is home first up for trainer Ross Price, the demerit 5-year-old, having only its 4th lifetime start. A barrier trial winner at Larkhill back there on April 3. Hasn't been sighted since, but it's come up as fresh as a daisy. Military Power holding second. Jason Brown, after working to lead. Outfield in the group of 3 there, got the nod. 1, 2, 3, 8 Platinum Class, 4th home in front of number 10, Pandora Girl. 1, 2, 3 and 8 in 105.40. 2.5 lengths and a half a length the margins. The winner raced by Tammy Price, Shirley Prosser, C. Baskerville, Miss R. Greenaway, M. Jones, M. Anderson, Mrs. J. Anderson, along with Mrs. K. Harper and C. Stewart by demerit from Mojito City, and trained by Ross Price, ridden by Paul Harvey, who so far has got the meeting to himself after 2. Military Power is second in. A Def Con Snitzel Express 3-year-old for Jimmy Taylor. Jason Brown outfield, a deep field 3-year-old from Duraya. Darren McAuliffe, Luke Campbell. They've run home in 35.68 there, and a fair bit of rain as well in the lead up and during the course of the running of race number 2. Well, it worked for the lead, broke them open, but then found wanting the favourite Military Power. After Party surging from last to claim it. The third, the Diggers Cup, is over 1,800 with only the 5 to do battle in the next. There are no changes to come. They'll go at 2.19. 3.142 are my thoughts there. Okay, the clearing conditions downstairs. We'll go down and catch up with Britt, who's undercover still, I assume, down there in the Scales area after the running of the second event for the day, which has so far belonged to Paul Harvey.
Correct, Darren. We are undercover and hiding from the conditions, albeit it has just eased up for the moment. After Party, Ross, first up here today. What are your expectations coming into the race?
Oh, look, he's been working really, really well. I thought he'd run a really good race. I didn't expect to see him out the back at the start, but I was disappointed if he didn't run a good race today.
How did you view it as it all unfolded?
Look, I saw him a fair way behind them, but then had a look through the binoculars just coming to the corner, and he was absolutely cruising. Even though he was still last, he was absolutely cruising, and I thought, oh, he's right in this because he can really gallop this horse.
Has he come back the same horse as we saw last preparation, or is he elevated?
Oh no, he's elevated. He's just a slow maturing horse, and we've had a few little issues with just maturity, just sesamoid, just maturity, and it's just taken him a long time, and his brain has eventually switched on as well, and he's just lovely and relaxed out there today, and that's what I really liked, and I just loved the way he was so relaxed behind the gates and everything, and I really thought he'd run a good race.
Hopefully it's onwards and upwards from him here. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
There is Ross Price after the win of After Party, and it sounds as though he's a horse with a bit of a future. He's a 5-year-old now who's only having start number 4, so when he says slow maturing, he really has been very slow in terms of getting to the races and very, very lightly raced, but clearly with those sesamoid issues that he's had, they've given him all the time in the world, and it looks as though he's going to reward them from here on in.
Certainly, he's got out to a massive price for a horse that trialled quite well. Brady's paid $26.30 on the tote there. Paul Harvey right down the outside. So we've seen 2 races here. We've seen 1 lead all the way, and we've seen 1 swoop over the top of them from last. So that's always a good sign for the track as well, that it's been nice and fair in 2 races to date. That wind is going to stay around, but hopefully the rain, we'll see the back end of it at some stage. The sun's popped its head out at the moment, and we'll get a word with Paul Harvey once he's weighed in, Britain, and we'll get a word about Snipping Over as well. We'll do 2 birds, 1 stone. 2 horses, 1 interview.
Absolutely, after he was able to win the first and the second race of the day, Paul Harvey, but with Snipping Over, it was a very, very long route back to the gate, so back to the mounting yard from pulling up. The clerk of the course was in company with Snipping Over when that horse won the first, so we didn't get a chance to speak to Paul, and now he's just having a chat to the connections of After Party, who have been with him for the long haul, having to have that time to be really patient with him and let him mature into the horse that he is now. And as he was coming into the corner and ready to flatten out, Ross Priceford with plenty of confidence, knowing just how well this horse can sprint, and he's been able to get the job done at a big price as well. Defeats Military Power, the favourite, who from 4 starts now, it's 4 seconds. So very much a case of a bridesmaid, hopefully one day the bride. After Party, the winner. Let's get a word from Paul Harvey.
That's probably one of the more impressive maiden wins we'll see here today, Paul.
Yeah, he's a nice action horse. Obviously, he's had his few little issues early on. I think he's had palate surgery, and he's come back good. His trial was good. It was a nice effort today, you know. Probably looked a little bit too short for him even, you know. He couldn't tack on early. Sort of joined onto him halfway through and then really powered through the line good.
And a quick word on Snipping Over, who led all the way in race 1.
Yeah, she was good. Obviously, she's been sitting, and today they elected to go forward with it. It's probably the right choice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
There is Paul Harvey, straight back to the rooms and into the warmth, I'd say, for these jockeys after getting poured down on just prior to the start of that race. After Party victorious in race number 2.